First up, we're going to do the background. So make sure you have a cup of water, and then we're going to wet the brush. And I am going to do direct painting, which means I'm going to squirt it right on the canvas. If you want to use whatever like little palette and put your colors in there and mix them, that's okay too. So this is the phthalo blue, and then the phthalo green. Viridian will work good too if you have that. And then you're going to need white. Okay, now I have a big blob there, so I'm just going to spread it around. Okay, now it's time for the blending. And then we're just going to go back and forth, back and forth. After all of your blending, your painting should look something like this. And I'm going to go ahead and add some more white for contrast and a little bit more green. You can also push and do some circular motions. That's also known as scumbling. If you have some larger jars with the big opening here, you can drip on some paint to practice the dripping techniques. Or if you don't have anything like this, just put a little bit of water, very little, in with your paint that you do have. And you could even practice on a separate sheet of, like this is just some old cardboard I have over here. If you're afraid to mess up your painting, you can always practice first. We're going to give that brush a rest for a little bit. And I I'm going to move on to some of the buffing. So I zoomed in a little bit, and then I'm just going to take a small corner here and go around and make circular motions on the edges and start to blend the colors together. And then you can practice with your pressure too. You don't want to press too hard because you may lift up some of the other paint that's still wet. But if you do, that's okay. You can always go back and add more. And then it's up to you if you want to leave some of your drippy lines there. If you don't want to blend them, you can leave them alone. I have a deeper green that I made here, and now I'm going to start to go in with the palette knife. Here I'm going to work on some more color placement. I'm going to go ahead with my deep blue and put some in the top corner here and then spread some down in through the middle. Just a few lines here and there, and then blending them out with my dry brush. Here in the center, as I'm placing the color, I'm going to wiggle my brush back and forth just to give a little bit more texture and some different lines and strokes here. And also down here in the corner, just so it has balance. And next up, I'm going to use some of my gold, and I'm going to put it going up at an angle. After the placement of the gold, you're going to go ahead with your dry brush and start to blend out some of the edges. For the next step, I'm going to add some of my phthalo green mixed with some white, and that made a nice minty green. And I'm going to spread this throughout the painting here and there because I noticed while as I was filming, some of these colors, they're definitely more visible in person, so it's not translating as much as I would like it to on the actual film here. So I'm going to brighten it up a bit with this minty green. After the mint green, I'm going to go ahead with my white. And then with the palette knife again, creating those lines and textures. And depending on how hard you push, you'll take up more paint from underneath. So you can keep that in mind. You can play around with your pressure. When you're done with your palette knife, you're going to go ahead and take your sponge and we're going to blend out some of the edges. And this again just helps to create more texture throughout this painting. We have many, many layers and we're looking to pull everything all together here. So again, I'm just going in between here, looking around and then just connecting some certain areas, especially if you have an area that looks like you didn't do a whole lot. You can go ahead and add some of the spongy texture and the circle pattern that it creates. It almost looks like sea foam. And that was it for the last step in today's painting. And I have a quick close-up here so you can see the different variations. And that gold metallic looks really nice, especially in the sunlight. And that is it for today's video. I hope that you did enjoy it. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.